In the previous video, we learned all about functions. In this video, we will learn about how to copy over our functions properly. In the very first lesson, we learned about autofilling, aka copying our formula to other cells by dragging the bottom right corner of the cell. This is basically why people should use Excel, because you just need one good formula and Excel will do the rest of the work for you. But it is very crucial to get that first formula correct. In the previous example, it worked because Excel changes the reference cell accordingly. The reference cell refers to the cell you use in the formula. For example, if I want this cell here to reflect my first item, I'll just equals to B3, which is where Apple is at, hit enter. And if I want to copy it down, I'll just drag it down the various rows. And pay attention to this formula bar here. In the first cell is B3, B4, then B5, then B6. But if I drag it across, the row stays the same. All of it will be 3, but it will change, the column would change, C3, D3. But sometimes I don't want the reference cell to change. Take for example, I have a budget for my groceries and I want to know how much of my budget I'm spending on the different items. So I have this percentage of budget column over here. I can take the total cost of the item divided by my budget over here, multiplied by 100. So over here, I've already put in the formula F3 divided by B13 times 100. Now I hit enter. 5 divided by 50, that's 10% of the budget. Now let's copy this formula to the rest of the cells. It doesn't work. This is because the formula contains a relative cell reference. So it shifts F3 becomes F4, but B13 becomes B14 as well. So it's referencing the wrong cell here. This is because Excel recognizes the cell reference as relative that changes when formula is copied to other cells. This is in contrast to absolute cell reference that stays the same when formula is copied to other cells. To copy the formula quickly, I need to fix the location of my budget. And to do so, I need to add a $sign in front of my column and a $sign in front of my row. Let's go back to the first cell. Let's go back to the first cell. I need to add a $sign in front of B and a $sign in front of 13. Hit enter. It's the same. Now let's copy this formula to the rest of the cells. And voila, now it works. A handy shortcut for this adding of $sign, which changes the relative cell reference to an absolute one, is F4 or FNF4, depending on your computer settings. So you just need to go to this cell here, and for my computer it's FNF4. It will change the cell reference you need. If you have realized that I could have just added a $sign in front of my row in this case, you are a bloody genius. Because I'm dragging down the same column, the column of my reference cell does not change. So just to prove it, I can show it to you. Let's drag it down. It still works. But it is good practice to fix anything you don't need moving. So if you do copy the formula to other cells later, problems don't surface. So today we learned about different types of cell references so we can copy our formulas properly. In the next lesson, we will learn what I think is the best tool that Excel has: recording macros.